Welcome, everybody, to the Big Vito brand 2019. I am Virtue here with a brand new edition of Virtue's Brand of Wrestling here on formerly BigVito.com. I'm not sure if that still works, but I know Noel's been working on the new site name, which is thebigvitobrand.com. I'll get it right eventually. Don't worry about it. So I am Virtue here, ready to talk about some professional wrestling with you. Now, just to give you guys a scoop, I do have a movie. It's probably one that I already used, but there's a reason why I want to talk about this one. That'll be at the end. The scoop is very soon, within the next few weeks, we might do it weekly. We might just do a couple a month. We're going to have a new Virtue versus Vito debate show where him and I will get on Google Hangouts. We will talk about specific parts of today's professional wrestling. And although we could agree, hopefully we'll disagree. He's going to look at it from a worker's perspective, being in the business and all the major companies. I'm going to be looking at it from a fan's perspective, who's only dabbled into small-time indie stuff. Hey, and I've had fun in the backyard. So that's where I think we're going to have some difference of opinions, and it should be some good stuff. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm going to press Big Vito's buttons, and I ain't afraid of them. Nope. A lot of people might be, not me, at least when it comes to the war of the words. If I saw him in the ring, probably would run away. Okay, what I want to talk about, as you see the picture, if Noel used it, of Mandy Rose in lingerie. So a couple of weeks ago, WWE decided on Monday Night Raw to have a scene backstage where Alexa Bliss had just something covering her top. She wasn't wearing anything, but she was covering it with a shirt or a towel that she hadn't put on yet. Somebody walked into the dressing room and walked in on her. Not that that's really that much sex appeal, but it's gotten millions of views on YouTube. And people still like sex appeal. I don't care if it's 2019 and the snowflakes are flying and the social justice warriors are putting up their pitchforks and torches. I don't care, okay? Sex appeal on cable television still sells. That segment is proof with Alexa Bliss on Raw. And to back that up, the following night on SmackDown, Mandy Rose was in a hotel room where she invited one of the Usos, the one married to Naomi, Jimmy, I believe. Jimmy, they're twins. Who cares? But we know. And she was giving herself up to the Uso in lingerie. That has millions of views on YouTube. I believe also on Impact Wrestling within the same time period, Scarlett Bordeaux, I think that's how you say her name, had some sex appeal stuff going on too. And her video for Impact on their YouTube is like at 1 million views. Sex appeal sells. But it doesn't just have to be women, right? It can be equal. The guys go out there all the time, oiled up with their hair wet in little trunks. That's for the girls who like to see that stuff. And let's not be biased. Some guys, Vito probably likes that stuff. He used to wear a dress. See, look, I'm already starting the debate show. This is going to be fun. It's going to be in good, playful debate fun with two sides of the coin. I can't wait for that. But what I'm saying is watch any cable television show. There's sex appeal. They show as much as they can. They swear now. They do whatever they can to make it TV mature or 14. And usually you get higher ratings that way. But WWE clearly during the holiday season dipped down to under 2 million. Now football season ended. Cena was back. They spiked back up to 2.7, but coincidentally, on that Raw, Alexa Bliss had that segment. Now, granted, people aren't tuning in thinking they're going to see that in WWE today, but WWE did that. Granted, the people that were actually flipping through as that scene happened didn't draw. But on the internet, everyone's watching that Alexa Bliss clip. Everyone's watching that Mandy Rose clip. And for Impact Wrestling's sake, people are watching that Scarlett Bordeaux clip And guess what? They might now say, oh, they're bringing the Attitude Era back or sex appeal back. And even if WWE rarely shows that kind of stuff, they might get some people to tune in to see if more of that's going to be on it. Let's face it. Adam and Eve, I'm not a religious person. Everything started with fruit of the loin, sex, temptation, this and that, yada, yada, yada. It's on human DNA. It's human nature. People want sex appeal, right? That drives their libido. You can't stop it. Does that make everybody a pervert? Okay, whatever, if that's what you want to think. But for cable television, it's allowed. Look at HBO, Showtime. There was a show on Showtime. It didn't really show much nudity, but there was some on there with Jim Carrey called Kidding. It was dark comedy. And yes, I believe there was a chest shot of one of the females that Jim Carrey was with. There were so many things, story into that, nudity. It was awesome. It was awesome. That's how TV should be, especially if you're paying for it. Cable TV you pay for. Premium cable like Showtime, HBO, you pay for. Streaming services you pay for, right? On streaming services, you can do non-rated or unrated. WWE clearly still has an older demographic. Average age is, 45 or 50? But they still try to make their show PC friendly, PG, G-rated for the kids and their parents to say, oh, that's a fine show to watch. Buy tickets, buy merchandise. But you still have to make money off of it. And although we know WWE stock is over $80 a share and Vince is making money, you can't just continually have your main domestic TV product start tanking in the ratings and people not even going to your show or you're tarping off sections, SmackDown. So you still have to find ways to try to generate more potential customers. And let's face it, the Attitude Era is a statistic that will never go away. That was the most extreme you can get for WWE, for professional wrestling. Sable and the handprints on her breasts. Sunny, so much sex appeal back then, and it was the highest ratings of all time. But it was great storytelling too. So I am perfectly fine. And for the new girl that comes out, Lacey Evans, that wants to be prim and proper, okay, well, she's clearly copying Jackie Kennedy or Onassis, being that classy type of woman from the 60s era. Granted, you're in, it's a different type of sexy, but they're still trying to get it across as sexy. Sasha Banks, right, doesn't like to talk to fans in real life. Did the whole, we're the female wrestlers, we're not divas. But you come out in skimpy trunks with your booty bouncing and your cleavage showing, yeah, and you're changing your weave all the time. What do you mean? They wear lipstick, eyeshadow. What do you mean today's female wrestlers in this era aren't trying to be sexy? The Iconics got breast enhancements. Charlotte got breast enhancements. Women know guys care if they're sexy. Even Nia Jax is trying to be sexy with all the makeup on her face and see-through. There are guys into heavy women. I know a couple of them. There you go. Sex appeal. Sex appeal for everybody. But the dudes can be that way too. Drew McIntyre comes out there all oiled up with his wet hair all over his chest and stuff. He's playing that to the females. Buy my shirt. That's just how it is. EC3 and his muscular build. Vito. Look at Vito back in the day. Sure, he wore a dress, but you think Vito tanned and manicured himself all to appeal just to dudes? No. He was trying to appeal to chicks. And that draws. That's ratings. I'd take my shirt off without a bra on and show you, but I can't. Because I don't want YouTube. Well, I don't know if Noel's going to post these on YouTube, but you know what I'm saying. You can watch Noel on the Thug Wives and all their shows, and they get it, right? They're comfortably dressed, right? And it's perfectly okay because real people will watch and listen to these videos and podcasts for the content. And if it looks good too, God bless you, Noel. God bless you, Vito. But you're the true stars of the Big Vito brand. You just have me in here to help bring in fellow marks, and that's why I'm here. It's fine. For those of you living in your parents' attics, or basements or, a bedroom or the house above the garage. It's cool. It's cool. You can tell mom and dad that you're feeling tingly down there when you watch Alexa Bliss on the TV or Mandy Rose on the TV. Tell them you don't watch wrestling just to see guys fake wrestle. You know what I mean? Scripted wrestle. Tell them there's some sexiness going on there too. No different than if you're watching Cinemax late at night. Remember, everybody used to call it Skinemax, Emmanuel, and The Real Sex and all those shows. Heck, when I was an early teen and teenager, I'd love that. I'd watch Scramble Vision, right? It's human nature. It's okay. There's no, when you're in the workplace, you got to be proper. So there is a right time to not sexually, what's the word I'm looking for? Sexual misconduct type of thing, sexual harassment. But as a fan watching television, entertainment, especially cable, it's okay to like sex appeal, right? It's not porno. You can go on your phone and get porno. All the wrestling is supposed to do is to have the softest of softcore porn, skin, a little bit of shoulder, maybe some back, some cleavage, because it draws people. And I don't care. Call me a pig, a male chauvinistic pig. I'm not. I'm just stating facts. Like Captain Spaulding said. I almost said Dr. Satan. Captain Spaulding from The Devil's Rejects, The House of a Thousand Corpses, and brand new one coming up, Three from Hell by Rob Zombie. Captain Spaulding says, calls them like I sees them. I am here to say what you need to hear, but what you don't necessarily want to hear. It's fine that you don't be embarrassed. Do we need to resort to Trish Stratus getting on all fours and barking like a dog? No. But Stacy Keibler was hot back in the day dancing. I remember I dated a girl when I went to college, and she wore glasses. And you know what? To me, I'd watch Raw and watch Stacy Keibler. After Raw went off the air, hey, Stacy. That wasn't her name, though. It's okay. Like I said, it goes both ways. Males can go out there with sex appeal too, to draw in the females. And heck, males can draw males. Females can draw females. Everybody loves everybody, right, Finn Balor? So the Royal Rumble's coming up this weekend. I'll do my predictions on NoDQ.com with that team. I will watch NXT. I have to do it so you guys get my thoughts. So perhaps, if Vito and I do start the Versus series with him and I next week, we can maybe talk about Royal Rumble and NXT. It might be a couple weeks out. Vito's a busy guy down there in Florida, so I'm going to make sure we can get a good schedule and at least give you 2 shows. Maybe every other week you can get Vito and I in a Versus show, and then maybe the in-between weeks you get Solo Virtue, just ranting and raging and doing all that good stuff like I do with my dog's toys in the back, from Disney with the Hulk Hogan brother there. You see my, the good old light is still here. It says the brand for Vito's brand, Russo's brand. So I am a big Vito guy. I love Big Vito's getting color. The rants are great. That's what inspired me to challenge him to a new debate series called Vito versus Virtue, or he might want it to be called Virtue versus Vito. I don't know. But I'm just saying, I would like to see more scantily clad stuff on TV. And again, they can have people, the males appealing to males or females, and they can have females appealing to females or males, just because it's 2019. And like I said, it should appeal to everybody. So here's my movie of the week. I probably did this before. John Wick. This is the first one. Awesome movie. This would be one that you would have thought Redbox material, maybe on Showtime or HBO when it comes out. Turned into, this is going to be a nice little franchise. The third one is coming out this year, 2019. So I like the first one a little bit better than the second one, but they're both really good. And so I have high expectations for the third one, John Wick, starring Keanu Reeves. And it's just about William Dafoe was actually in this first one, and it's cool, man. It's ladies and gentlemen, sorry, it's about hitmen and the life trying to live after you kill people for a living, and then the rage in you is awoken, however the word is, Matt Hardy, and it's a wild and bloody ride, just like it says. Keanu Reeves is best since The Matrix. I don't know. I kind of liked Speed with Sandra Bullock. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. So, thank you for watching the first Virtues brand of wrestling of 2019. Just remember, folks, cable television should be drama, sex appeal, all that good stuff. Reality, that's what draws people's interest. When you're flipping through the channel and you stop and you see a girl holding something over her chest or showing lingerie, men and women alike are probably going to both stop the channel right there and watch. That's just the truth. Let me know what you think of the beard. It might be, and you do need to go to the barber soon and get it trimmed up, because if I try to do it, it all comes off. It's awful. So if you want to see my long and floppy hair, it's been growing. I think I'm going to get a haircut soon as well. Now, with that said, go to my my YouTube. Not my YouTube, but my Twitter @NoDQ_Virtue, and go to the media tab, or my Facebook, NoDQ.com/virtue with the lowercase v. And I do have a video up of me in an indie wrestling match against Razor Sharp. Now, keep in mind, I play a manager character like Bobby Heenan, Jimmy Hart. But you'll see, we actually main evented, which I was very humbled. We had Alex the Kid as the referee. It was a great story. You can actually go on YouTube, UXWA, type in their YouTube. It's right up there. It's got a few hundred views already. So Virtue versus Razor Sharp. So definitely watch that. And I hope Vito and Noel watch that as well, because they actually worked in wrestling, and I'd like to know what their take was on it. To me, the story was great for that match. If you watch that whole video, you'll understand it, because there's a promo before it. And I was the villain. It was fun, and I would do that again in a heartbeat with the story that it told. So check that out. But soon you will see Virtue versus Vito, or Vito versus Virtue, here on thebigvitobrand.com. And it's going to be fun, because I'm going to make sure there's topics that he and I will both disagree on, such as him making fun of me being a fan when I wrote what I thought Finn Balor's Demon promo should have been to Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman on this past Raw, the go-home show to Royal Rumble. Vito said, no, you're a rookie kid. You don't understand. I want to defend that against Vito. It's going to be fun. People like to hear difference of opinions when it comes to professional wrestling. And why not Virtue, a columnist, a vlogger, and Vito, a retired man from the actual game that was in TNA, WCW, WWE, ECW. So it's coming soon, folks. But I am Virtue for thebigvitobrand.com. This has been Virtue's Brand of Wrestling. We will see you next time. Thank you for watching.